Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have constant content coming out for you guys every single day. My name's Jason. I'll be bringing you today's video. And make sure you guys stay tuned for every Thursday right now. We're going to have a premiere video coming out with live chat with us. So please tune in. Probably going to be about 6 o'clock on Thursdays. And please tune on in. We can chat about our upcoming plans for the live streams that we hope to start soon and the tournament formats that we want to do. And otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's video. So today's video, I'm kind of touching on one of our viewers sent us a question that was pretty interesting and had a strategy attached to it that I really liked. It's a very, very interesting strategy. And it brought to mind a few things that I'm not so sure that I've really covered on the channel, so I thought I'd bring them up. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to answer the question, and the question was, which is more rare, the hour-long rolls or say 10 don't pass winners in a row? And while I don't have exact numbers for you, and running the math on that would get very, very, very complicated since you have so many potential rolls that don't affect the don't pass at all. But I do want to say that I would, off the cuff, I would say that the 10 don't pass winners in a row would be more rare than the hour-long roll. And the hour-long roll does not come up very often. Again, this is an extremely rare kind of situation that I see. I work the night shift, and I see it. I see an hour-long roll maybe once every month or two. So, you know, between all three shifts within the casino and all the tables, there's probably an hour-long roll every 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. Maybe a little bit more frequently sometimes, then we might have a dry spell. So it seems kind of odd that the don't pass would come up, would be even more rare. But it's not so much that the don't pass is that rare as the win and loss conditions on it are actually kind of brutal. The thing is, once there's a point, it favors the don't pass. Definitely favors the don't pass. But even at the absolute best scenario, which is a 4 or a 10, the odds are still only 2 to 1. 2 to 1 in favor of the don't pass. So having 10 in a row would be extremely difficult, but definitely doable. I do see that kind of stuff. When it comes to 4s and 10s, I will probably see more 7-outs than obviously I'll see twice as many 7-outs as I'll see winner 10s. But there could be a long streak before anyone hits a winner 10. But that's not what would really cripple the ability for don't pass to have a really long winning streak. What really cripples it is right here in the come out roll. On the come out roll is where it makes it so insanely difficult for there to be 10 don't pass winners in a row. Even if you get 2 or 3 crap numbers, and then you get a 0.7 out. So let's say you had 3 crap numbers, you get a 0.7 out. So you got 4 don't pass wins in a row. Now let's say you got lucky, got another crap number, and now you get, say, a 10, and you get a 7 out. So now you're sitting at 6 in a row, right? You still have 4 more to go without ever hitting a 7 or 11 on the come out roll. That's just so extraordinarily rare. So extraordinarily rare for the don't pass to win 10 times in a row. Same thing with 7 outs. Going 10 shooters without seeing a winner is rare. It can happen. It definitely does happen. It does happen with a lot more frequency than the hour-long roll. However, again, it's that come-out roll that's really going to crush that attempt on the don't pass. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is something that has come up when we've discussed some of the martingale systems, and that's table limit. The table limits can really put a damper on a lot of strategies. That's the reason why. The table limit is the reason why no casino fears the martingale strategies or anything else along those lines. Because as we've shown before, all it takes is one win, or one loss rather, on a martingale, to one table limit loss to wipe out 3,000 prior wins. So the casinos have no fear of the martingale systems because the odds still favor them. They only need to beat that martingale system once every 6 months, once every year, in order to defeat the player entirely. And we see this. I see it all the time. I can think of a few martingale players that no longer play. Once they played their martingale system for a few weeks and then took a hit, and never played it again or never even showed up again. So the table limit is what can really start hitting a lot of strategies. For instance, I worked at a place once that was a 20 times odds. It was 20 times odds, so that was fantastic. You could do. They didn't allow put bets, which was kind of silly because their justification for that was that they had 20 times odds. But if you look at 20 times odds, at a max bet, max odds table max with versus a max place bet, the difference in potential winnings is next to nothing. So it was silly. They just didn't want to do it. I'm guessing maybe because they were break-in house and even their floors weren't strong enough to deal with put bets. But they were 20 times place. And we actually saw, I actually was part of a 40-minute roll and an hour and 20-minute roll with them. We did have one player that eventually started brushing up against table max. So with 20 times odds, basically if you had a pass line bet, if you had a $10 pass line bet, you could do 200 odds. 200 in odds. You could do 20 times your flat bet in odds. That is absolutely fantastic. And that is the point where come bets, the 10 times odds is the point where come bets defeat place bets. So at 20 times, it is definitely in your favor to do come bets or put bets if you're allowed to. But can anybody guess what the table limit was, what the maximum bet was on this 20 times odds table? I'll help you out. $1,000. $1,000 max bet. So even at a martingale system, even on a say a $10 table, a $10 field, it means your second martingale would be 20, third would be 40, 80, 160, 320. 640, and we're touching up on table max. And if you're doing other systems that aren't straight doubles, you start bumping up into the table max even faster. And this one, 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 losses before table max before you're done on your martingale system. 7 losses. That is really easy to do in the field. It's really easy to do with most strategies. So, and then at that point you have lost, because at that point the max you could do is 1,000, so you wouldn't even make back what you had lost at this point. So this is the last bet where you would come out with a $10 profit in total off of everything. So, so yeah. The table max is what really starts to hit you. And table max is something to definitely pay attention to. It is very, very difficult to find high table max tables, and it's even more difficult to find tables that have a high table max and have high odds allowed. Most places that have really high maximum bets, say on the strip somewhere, probably are 3, 4, 5 odds. So it really limits what you can do on the pass line or the don't pass line. And for instance, if it's a 3, 4, 5 odds table on the don't pass, your maximum lay is 6 times your flat bet. 3, 4, 5 just works out perfectly. So where you can just do 6 times your flat bet and you will win 3, 4, or 5 times your flat bet depending on the number. So because that's the thing with the don't pass is whatever the odds are. Whatever maximum odds would be allowed to be taken on the point is the maximum you're allowed to win on your lay. So if you find a 10 times place, you could do 10 times odds in the back, and you could do a maximum lay that would let you win 10 times your flat bet. Once again, you start running into table max. You start running into table max real quick. So the 3, 4, 5 places, those will tend to have high odds or high maximum bets, but they're 3, 4, 5 odds. When you get to the 10 and 20 times, most of those places are off the strip and smaller casinos, smaller locations, so they'll have maximum bets of $1,000 to $2,000. It's very, very, very difficult, almost impossible to find a place that has 10 times, 20 times, or even the rare 100 times odds that has maximum bets greater than $1,000 or $2,000. So, hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or just plain entertaining. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.